Just because you're paranoid doesn't mean they're not after you. Alright, so I want to discuss security on Crown land. Now, I don't know if you can tell, but I just had a light up on me, and that's my front main light. I'm going to close this up real quick. Only have 7 minutes, so I'm trying to do this as quick as I can. And then I also have a trail camera there, which you can hang off that, and like you could do pull-ups off that. Then I have my lights on my trailer on a switch, and usually when I'm parked long term, I take the lenses off, so I get quite a bright effect off that. Although I do turn these main rear lights off, the center ones, because they're LED reds, so I can't change that. And these big ones are they consume quite a bit of power. Anyway, keep going around here. So, why do I have all this stuff? Oh, there we go. There's one going on. I have it in part because of wildlife, but I also have it largely because of humans. People really sketch me out now. Where I am right now, there's been 145 overdose deaths in the last couple of years, and theft is a major problem. I don't even like bringing my truck to this specific spot, because this specific spot where I'm at is a lake that a lot of people go to. It's very well known. It's tiny, and when you're fishing, the parking is kind of away from the water. There's been a lot of thefts here, and I don't like bringing my truck here, so I brought my bike in the past and even had stuff stolen off my bike. Like I had a jacket in my bike and it went missing. So, I'm just curious what people's thoughts about security on Crown or public land is. In Canada, you don't have a lot of rights insofar as self-defense and security and whatnot. But you do have some. And I mean, like, there are laws in, for example, Alberta, saying that you have the right to enjoy Crown land in peace. So if somebody shows up and tries to basically hijack your site while you're there, you can complain about it. Now, in Alberta, people tend to have their sites and leave others alone. I've never really seen it as a problem. And I'm in BC now, and it seems to be almost the opposite, where people, will literally come and picnic right on your front fucking lawn, and then argue with you that it's not your lawn or not your porch or whatever. And I mean, in some regards, they are right. It isn't yours, but at that time you're using it, right? So, what are your thoughts on that? I have a couple of thoughts on public land use for recreational activities as well. But I'm more concerned for this video on the security aspect of stuff and what you allow. Would you be okay with somebody coming and being within a foot of your truck for 5 minutes while you're out fishing, and you can see that they're doing something, but you can't tell what? It's too far, right? So would you be okay with something like that? Would you be okay with somebody driving around your site to get down between you and the water when you're parked on the shore? I mean, they have the right to the high water mark, right? But at the same time, is that a socially acceptable thing to be doing? And what are your thoughts on when it comes down push to shove on defending yourself or property on public land? In Canada, the laws are very much not in your favor. And so I find that having dissuasions is the best way. Things that like dissuade people from approaching. They just know that there's going to be more trouble than it's worth, right? It's not going to be like completely flawless. And then I have other stuff as well for theft prevention that I won't get into, but that's pretty much it. Let me know what your thoughts are on that. And like I've got a few ideas of my own. For example, when you're parking long term, do you like to park deep in the bush and be completely hidden, or do you like to be kind of close to a road? And my answer to that is I actually like to be a little bit close to the road, so that way if somebody's at my site breaking in, they can't hear me coming for miles. they're gonna literally have to be playing the lotto with the cars going by, because any one of those cars might be able to turn off and be me coming into my site, right? And at that point, they don't have the escape options that they would have had if you were, 5 miles in the woods. So that's one thing. On the other hand, I like being 5 miles in the woods when there's a little chance of people finding the site and when I'm not going to be away from it. So there's things, to think about there. There's a few things I've done in the past, like leave change around on the ground. And if it's gone, somebody who is not doing so well was through your site. That's more of a thing I do in town, though, for parking areas. Like I used to have a tow company, right? But anyways, but there's stuff you can do, like leave something of fairly insignificant value to you, but looks valuable to somebody else as bait to see if someone's been around. And then, of course, do you look at tracks going around your site and whatnot? So today I had an incident, and basically I wound up looking at the tracks to see what the guy was up to. And it seemed like it was innocuous, but it was very strange. So it got me thinking that it might be time for a video on that. And, if somebody is, if you're in the woods and somebody just comes through and doesn't ask your permission, that's a big thing too, right? Is people asking or not asking permission. So if they don't ask your permission, then they just come up and decide to sit at your fire. Are you cool with that? Not everybody is. And of course it depends on who, I suppose, right? Some old guy that needs to take a rest might be okay, but at the same time, if that old guy is ready to fight you 2 minutes later, did he really need a rest? All right, well, I gotta go. Let me know what you think in the comments.